it creates a ring around terrain, and he got the double stun on a skirmish that was over 1,000 yards away.
This is nothing like our last series, Clement. This is not controlled League of Legends. This is run your face in and see who gets hurt first.
Gala needs to stop running his face.
Yes, he does. His face is bruised.
Don't think his teammates recognize him now.
You know what? 1 and 3, not the optimal start here for the Kaisers. WE, the lane swap was DMO who started it. Now, WE say, hey, we got the Rift Herald. It's all ours.
Do you want to see the replay again? See how that all started?
We got too many replays.
Gala goes up against Pose. And gets
that?
deleted.
I feel like the Aatrox just, does this, and this, and this. Crowd's like, you shouldn't have done that. So Gala, Clement, what do you think?
They weren't on the same page.
They
thought the rest
weren't
of
on the
team
same
was going to come in.
Yeah.
A very long stun coming in from Xie across the Baron pit. And he's in his element. He can chase this down.
I get it. Good joke.
Edge of Ixtal just with the river.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can use Audacity. That's the E of Qiyana and the Q at the same time. Think of it like Yasuo. You know, use the Sweeping Blade with the Still Tempest. So, cool little combos there that we've seen before. The Xian missing, looking for Twyla here. They're going to get the stun down, the dredge line locked on down with the depth charge too. The Supreme display again onto Twyla as the Ignite's there, and the Q lands! The range is bonkers from Xie.
Keeping that 100% win rate alive on Qiyana.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot more teams start selecting. I was really surprised that she only had 3 games played.
She's not prioritized. I mean, in the last series, she was 100% banned, and maybe our LPL teams are catching on as for WE, with this Qiyana who's 3-1-3, they push mid, they got Rift Herald, and there is just such a big gold lead now that's developed, and DMO falling by the wayside in yet another game.
You get a Nautilus lane snowballing early. This is going to happen all across the map. Qiyana's a great finisher for any type of crowd control. That execution and the extra stun that she packs. She actually packs 2 stuns in a single game. As we saw there, the ultimate getting a knockback onto terrain, and then just the river element with another stun.
All right, Clement, let's talk combos here for Qiyana, because the way this game is set up has been so bloody that we finally got a chance to talk. The Qiyana, the WQ, what's the combo? Set yourself up an element.
Most common one is you do the EQ, so you jump forward with Audacity.
With the pre element, right?
Yeah, with the pre-element, most likely River at the time, so you can start the trade, you get an auto attack in, and then you use another Terra shape onto the ground, onto the brush.
The brush, right?
And that actually gives you a refresh on your Q cooldown. You jump back into invisibility, and let's talk about this trade
Yeah,
first.
let's see what happens here, because that's the Flash looking for the Abscond Duck. Chung Hong is caught out. Use the ulti, get out of there as Beishang tries to snipe him off at the pass. Will be an escape here for WE, looking for more blood.
Yeah, and they do burn multiple flashes in that one. Actually, just the Xiaopeng flash. But they're asserting their dominance over River. If you look at the lanes, none of the lanes are behind.
Wow, flash on the Gala, missing, uses his ult once again. Mark's going to get pulled back in. The cat left on his lonesome death charge, and he's dead. DMO leaving while the flash comes in. The display of talent shows that Gala is an Ogo. Culling flash. WE are literally tearing DMO apart.
DMO getting slaughtered across the map.
Oh no, Xiaopeng, leave! Help me! Olaf, the Vikings! It didn't go like this. Post, thanks you for your donation.
Wow. I guess he was one of those Vikings that only robbed the monasteries.
Is that good or bad? Well, he deserves to die, is that what you're saying?
No,
Chung Hong has to burn the flash here as well. And DMO are getting caught out everywhere. There are a lot of questions about this team, and I have to say, WE is showing us why.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Why are you there? You know 2 people are through the jungle. Clement, this is going to be about a 10-minute replay.
Yeah, so DMO, they have no winning lanes. They've lost control of their own red side jungle. How did that ultimate fizzle?
What?
Oh, I think it was target on Yuumi first.
Oh, okay. So he got it again?
So I think what happened was he jumped on Gala and then took the target away.
Okay.
And then you see the double stun. Such a long-range stun. A couple of walls that we see Qiyana really excel over. First off is the Baron wall. Just look at how big a piece of terrain that is on your map.
It's bloody huge.
It's insane. So a lot of that's going to be used. And another one I really like is the blue wall and the wall that we're currently looking at on the left side of your screen. That is a very large piece of terrain and also covers a brush. So a lot of people will try to ambush you over that wall, but you can stun them instead.
Really good at, you know, getting the size of land. Like, if you ever wanted your exact measurement, if you're looking to buy a house, take Qiyana. She'll judge it for you. Longer the ult, longer your square piece of land, and suddenly you got some property.
Yeah, it's like, how many seconds does this shockwave need to take?
Oh, Chung Hong, please. Please. He lands the ult into Bei Shang. It's gone to Duck Teleport, at least here. Could be something as DMO. They're converging. WE this time have made the mistake, but they get the Scion. She is going to die too. 2 for 1, but look at WE. They're like, hey, let's fight. 3 versus 4. Come at me. They find one on Tagala, who has to burn the ult immediately with the wild growth. Sharpug turns it around, and WE go to their death as well. Post, run, leave this place.
There's a Yuumi. I don't think he can get out.
I think he's out, but what is happening in this game?
That's a WE special.
I mean, who's, you know, like, what is the special here, Clement?
It's mid-game throw.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Xiaopeng, that was so nice of you, Post. Hey, hey, take this with you. Undertow, blast
Here
code.
comes Twyla.
Oh, no.
I told you he wasn't going to get out.
Yeah. Well, that's because he came back in, isn't it?
Oh, what is WE doing?
Our last series, I thought, was exceptional because it was late game, it was individual decisions, and it was, you know, true show of teamwork. In the LPL, we don't always get to see this. This is a game.
Yes, I don't understand why W chose to engage on the second part of that. They expended so many ultimates to kill Chang Hong, and his zombie was still there. It was still technically a 5v4.
Yeah. This is our 17th replay of the game.
That was a good block on Bei Shang's part to keep Chang Hong there, but look at how much time he actually takes to kill, and it's a straight 1-for-1 trade at the start. And then look at this. It's still 5v3 essentially, and W are chasing in. W's like, we got Pose, boys. We can do this.
We're fine. We got Aatrox, man.
And then the exhaust comes down, and Pose is like, wait a minute, I'm out of here. I'm sorry, boys.
Mystic tries to 1v4.
Oh, what is that calculation? That was so off.
So, Clement, what happens next? We didn't even get a chance to talk about these team comps because I got 3 minutes at the start. We had a really good conversation. I was hyped because I was like, yeah, like, look at the comps and how this interacts. Like, the Qiyana gets a solo kill almost, and then we get to 10 minutes.
Lanes. They had 3 fully winning lanes.
Yeah.
They had the entire map control. They ran DMO across the map. That was they got 4 kills for nothing in the initial trade, and then DMO just walks back and trade back 1 for an ace. That's, oh my god.
And now, when you give the game back on a platter like that to DMO, Rod of Ages, 2-item Kai'Sa, 3 items on Olaf. Like, he has 3 items under 20 minutes.
Can people please start giving the zombie the respect that he deserves?
I mean, even more than that, just don't. Now you can't be near Xiaopeng, so don't.
The big thing about this is that we finally see Gala get to a second item. He actually has item advantage over the Lucian now after that assist and all the bounties were transferred over. So that's massive. Lucian's going to start walking downhill in terms of a champion.
Yep.
And Qiyana does need that extra edge over her opponents. She has a lethality champion, falls off hard as well. So W can't really play like this with this type of a composition. It's just pure disrespect. They saw the numbers count on DMO. It's not like they didn't know how many members DMO was there. They saw the full 5 and they were like, let's go, 3v5, boys. And Aatrox is dead.
How?
He probably died.
The observer's just tilted now. What is going on? How did Aatrox die?
Those are Xi'an observers, by the way, so
oh, they didn't. No, hide it away. Censored. Okay, DMO are going to hit the turret. The Aatrox is dead, so there's no side lane threat, especially down the bottom lane anymore. And DMO, the sword and shield is online. Oh.
Oh, wow. That was a great killer instinct to make sure that the prowling projectile actually followed through.
Yeah, actually not going to take that one away from Gala and Mark. That was nice execution.
That was a combo that you could do anywhere on the map, so can't really blame Pose. He actually kept his distance.
Yep. Tried to ult get out of that one. So WE losing the top lane. They lost the mid lane turret because of it. And now, what's on the map? I mean, Baron's there. Dragon coming up shortly, but the tempo gone. A Lucian, a Kiana, even Aatrox. As you were mentioning before, like, where do they go from here? Because the later this goes, Sword and Shield is great. Defends you against everything in late game.
It's a great team fight composition. So what W really need to do is, I think, still establish Pose as a very strong silent split pusher. That's what they're doing right now. And try to at least split the map open. So you're going to have a lot more chances for picks. However, they also need to be setting up very long vision, or Gala can do what he just did in the mid lane. That's a great answer to split pushers. Just if you land the killer instincts, you can instantly fly over. And that's one thing that DMO did with this composition consistently in the spring split, is they put the crowd control onto the bot lane Bruiser, who was typically playing against Changhong, and they instantly flew Kai'Sa in.
And remember that the Kai'Sa alongside the Yuumi, yeah, that's protection. She'll follow with her. But also, the Lulu can shield before the interaction starts. Shield, Ardent Sensor, and Gala becomes unkillable.
Wow, yeah, that's a very deadly combo. One of the reasons DMO was able to get into playouts with just a single composition was because they shut down a lot of split-pushing teams that wanted to split them open.
Yep.
They actually did a terrific job at catching the split pushers.
And also because Xiaopeng was playing these aggressive picks like the Olaf, the Nidalee is his special pick too. Bridges that early to mid game and gets them to that sword and shield point that we constantly talk about. So for DMO, that's how they got into playoffs. That's how this team managed to beat EDG through the process too. And for WE, a lot of expectations here that have gone awry into the choke. Beishang going to get hit up. They ult once again. It's easily done as Post coming in for the flank. Gala get that big shield, but WE coming in for the flank. Changhong still taking it with the Thornmail, but Xie getting very, very low as Xiaopeng wants to take him on the Olaf there, but flash over the wall from Twyla as WE go bibbity bat, boom, it's missing again, but DMO turn it around because Changhong can't die. The Scion is Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, or maybe 3, Rise of the Machines for DMO.
And they take over the map with that one. I thought they were going to clean it up. She had got the assassination on Gala, the main damage source, but it wasn't enough. Xiaopeng was already fed, and Twyla with a great flash over the wall managed to finish off his target.
Baron for you. Yum, yum, yum. It's all yours, DMO, and I have to say, you've caught out WE multiple times, and that was a dangerous fight. But the confidence here from DMO, good to see. They return to form here in this game with a lead of about 3,000.
You gotta love that Thor mail being built by Changhong. There was no one that could touch him throughout that fight. Kiana, despite being an elementalist, is still AD. Mystic didn't really have the damage to punch through. And even with the 4-man stun, DMO only lose one player.
Only one? God. I can't believe we're here, Clement. Like, the Scion he was hit. You know, he was hit in this early game. Everyone from DMO was hit. And WE were like, what can we do now?
If you told me at 20 minutes DMO were going to come back, I was going to say no way.
Yeah.
You lose 3 lanes, you get picked off 4 members across the map.
Yeah.
And they still... I really don't know, man. I really don't know. But let's watch this again. It was a great opening by Changhong. Great driver. They call him the Lao Siji old driver, and there's a 4-man stun coming in by Kiana.
I think it was 5, actually.
Oh, okay. Maybe 5, but an even better final chapter on the back end of that catches out the entirety of WE. Great positioning on that fight, and then they just walk through the entire composition. Mystic spent a lot of his culling, a lot of his damage on Changhong. Couldn't even finish him off as he went into tower.
Full-blown ace in the end. So DMO pick it up. Pick up the Baron. And I think during live, we saw WE pick up the triple Ocean Dragon. Will that help? Well, depends how long the fight goes for. So even though Shihei in that last one got a 5-man supreme display of talent, the talent wasn't shown by WE. And now under threat, Changhong sits mid. Mystic is hurting himself. Ult's going to come through. Look at him go. Changhong's out. Turret goes down anyway.
And that was 2 ultimates used already. So DMO is going to be pushing hard in the next couple of minutes.
Right through the mid lane. Still waiting for things. Baron's there. Let's see who goes in next. Because Gala's got 3 items.
Well, if you're wondering how the semifinalist team of 2017 ended up in the 14th to 15th place range in the LPL, this is pretty much why.
Yep.
I have a lot
14th.
of questionable team fight selections in the
I mean,
past couple
DMO
of
right
weeks.
now at 15th. I mean, it's an even bigger question how the LDL champions can change this much. And with the name change, you know, a lot has changed within the team itself. As for DMO, at least, success story in game number 1. They brought this one back. They're heading towards the top side, and WE looking their best to defend. But Chung Hong pops the stone plate, looks at them, and walks away.
And they're going to continue this siege for now. Interesting selection by Beishang, actually taking the Lulu ultimate.
Yeah.
So he could keep Kiana alive for longer. And she has a great positioning here.
Oh no, but he found the Olaf. He's like, that's not who should be there. Ulti into nothing. WE have lost their mid laner, and Post has lost his damn mind. Walks forward with the ult, missing the save. And Xiaopeng has been watching so much Vikings because this man doesn't know what defeat really is.
Oh my. That was so tragic for WE. Shia says, we're going in, boys.
Oh,
Instantly
yeah.
dies onto the Olaf, who can't even be crowd controlled.
Here
the
he
rest of
comes
the team
again.
is like,
Pop the
no.
ult. We're going in. You wish it did damage to the turret, but at this point, I don't think it matters. Gala flashes, walks away Mystic, and WE recover from whatever that game was because DMO ended up spanking you in game 1.
Can I just call that a massive throw? I think it's the correct description to call that a fiesta from WE.
You may.
Oh boy, that just really hurts.
But you know what? From both teams, go back to the drawing board because DMO constantly caught out. It went mid,
yes,
pick. Jungle, Xiaopeng picked. And then Chung Hong still in lane in the bottom side.
It was all calculated by DMO. You take WE off their game. It was a 7K gold advantage. Oh my god.
What the hell was that?
The first 20 minutes of the game had nothing to do with the later.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen, in the LPL, what we give you is, you know, we call a spade a spade. And that game, everyone needs to leave at the door, forget about, and let's move on to happier times, to better League of Legends, where everyone can feel like players played to their heart's content. Because DMO didn't.
They took a 3v5 in bot lane, and that just changed things for the worse.
I don't think we need analysis. Maybe we throw up the MVP. Because in all seriousness, like, look, we'll break this down for what it is the fact that WE held really good early game control. Like, Shia was playing a great Kiana, and there was good jungle pressure. But then, finally, I will say that DMO, as a team, can build off this.
I don't know how to feel about DMO when you're saying they can build off throws. You know, they can catch throws very well. That's the team's strong suit.
There's always that time, I'm just going to talk about myself. There's always that time as a caster when you're like, at what point do you tell the truth to the audience? Like, we're always trying to tell the truth to the audience,
I want to
right?
say that I felt like the draft was really subpar coming in from DMO. Top lane, early Sion against Aatrox. He didn't even ban that champion. Yep. That's going to be a field day for the Aatrox, and he was 30 CS ahead in lane. You go to the bottom lane, that was a kill lane whenever they had CC going through. Gala lost straight up in a 2v2 when he walked back into the Lucian. That wasn't even Mystic chasing him. That was him walking back into the culling. Dies there. The mid lane's actually behind as well. And the early game is atrocious. 20 minutes, 7K gold lead for WE already. So the draft needs a lot of inspection, and if I'm DMO, I'm not happy with that game.
No.
That was a gift from WE.
If I'm anyone, I'm not happy with that game. Xiaopeng, MVP, throw it up. Just give me something.
We were running into them.
There was a lot of fights, just in general.
He did end up 9-2-6 on the kill score, and a large part of that, I think, was the bottom lane scuffle as Pose went in onto him, and they realized, wait a minute, Olaf is a little strong right now. Olaf with Yuumi plus Lulu is not something to mess with.
I think it's time for us to reset as casters. I think it's time for the teams to reset. We're going to go to a short break, return with Game 2, where everything should be back to normal, ready for League of Legends.
Everybody wanna touch it. They can't though. Moves off, hands off. Still she make them grand stuff. Dollars rain down. Girlie got that fire, like she camped out. Dudes popping tense like they on the campground. She makes music with a body, the ballers they spending money, money. Pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. She make music with a body, the ballers they spending money, money. Pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. She make music with a body, the ballers they spending money, money. Bunch of sexy baddies up in here, but this one stand out. She a star, make them ballers pull the bank out. ATM shorty ain't gon' give enough funds. Better hit the branch, boo, in preparation. Feature dancer status, she the center of attention. Jacob Javis, them big convention boys coming with them thick stacks. Stadium players got the grips in there. Face like a doll, body juicy, deadly when she grabbing them ankles. She make music with her body, she that #1 single. She make music with her body, the ballers they spending money, money. Pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. She make music with her body, the ballers they spending money, money. Pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. Money, pop that, pushing that, making that a sing. She make music with her body, the ballers they spending money, money.
Feel like a flood coming. You got my blood rushing. I feel my pulse racing. You got my mind chasing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have recovered. We have come back after DMO and WE butted heads and said, come at me. We now go in open-minded to what the rest of the series could provide. Hysterics, Clement Chu. We're going to jump straight into game because, like I said, recovery's there. Shie gets Kiana again. That's my takeaway. And WE have run the DMO comp. Psy on top, Kaiser bot.
And they have the Olaf, too, from Xiaopeng. So a lot of takeaways from DMO. This is a challenge to how many champions DMO can successfully play.
That's right.
Chang Ho has been kind of off his game, so I actually like that strategy. We're seeing it a lot.
Because when DMO have been forced to adapt, this is when they're faltered. So if WE can force them here, we go to a Game 3, we recover even more, and we look for that League of Legends we've been asking for. Game 2, here it comes, over in Xi'an. All right, simmer down.
So I did ask Xiaopeng what DMO actually meant, and apparently it means God in Latin. I mean, when he asked me, I just told him, oh, it's Renekton's ultimate.
You know my reference at the start of the split, what I was saying, right? Excuse me, I'm just going to adjust my mic because I almost fell over. Dominus, Clement. If you've seen Spartacus, Dominus is what you call, you know, the owner of a ludus. Ludus that trains gladiators. So it makes sense. The gladiators were slaves, so we're not going to go down that road. But I always
don't know
think
where you're taking
the
me.
House of Batiatus. That's what I always think about when I hear Dominus. Shout out to any Spartacus fans out there. Post is actually going to run into Changhong here. Here we go. Early blood again. Post says, have at me, and just sends him out a little decimating smash.
So an interesting early invade coming in from W. I love the way they did it. They first went into the bot side. Oh,
Wow, that's early blood on Domestic. Now, you talk about early invade. Xiaopeng comes in for an early gank.
That was fun. That was fun to watch. We rarely see those level 2 ganks coming up. But in that one, it was a perfect response to their own blue being taken away. They did spot out Chango as he came up, and the only reason he would be there was because of that invade.
What is happening? We're just invading now. Xiaopeng goes in, doesn't seal it away. It's Bei Sheng who takes it, and the Olaf getting low means that Xiaopeng has to leave. He can't win this trade, and secured nicely by the Olaf.
That was so insane from Xiaopeng. A lot of crowd control and damage, and going into the Olaf like that took a lot of courage.
Yep. Remember, getting the blue buff there means Bei Sheng will triple buff this game. So a good start for WE's jungler and an experienced lead that will no doubt lead to bigger clear opportunities in the top side, which for Post is already winning out.
Just taking a look at who secured the first blood, it will be Gala in the bottom side, and a sizable CS lead as well. Mystic not getting with the teleport this time.
Bei Sheng trying to come into the mid lane. I was going to have a quick chat with you, Clement, just about the rune choice here. Of course, Unsealed Spellbook proposed in the top lane for the Scion. Also notice the
Lethal Temple is the interesting one. If you see it on the Azir.
Yep.
Now, for the last couple of games, we have been seeing the Electrocute.
Whew. Yep. Still doing okay in this lane without the Electrocute onto Xie. So playing this matchup once again. Biggest part here for me is the fact that for Bei Sheng, I was talking about before, the level lead, the experience lead. Well, he's up massively at this point in the game, but the opportunity to come into the top lane is there, as there's no ward control just yet.
It's definitely to be expected when someone does a level 2 gank like that and doesn't follow up with the vertical jungle.
Yep.
So, a strong start on his side. Now, I'm really curious if Azir is actually going to change his build path if he's going for the lethal tempo. Like, he could forego attack speed and just head straight for the Ludens if that's what Twyla's plan is.
Yep. I was also going to mention, Clement, just looking toward the top side. I know we're a bit scattered in this early game, but that's kind of the series so far, so I'm okay with it. The Doran's ring start is a good explanation, if you would, Mr. Clementu, because I know you take it for the AP, and the mana doesn't really matter because of the stats that it crosses over with the health combined.
I think kind of self-explained, just dealing a little bit more damage.
Okay.
And
that's it.
Like, if the enemy is not going to trade back on you, if you're not taking any damage yourself, then the extra AP is going to give you more sustain. Like, if you're going for a Doran Shield against a Scion, when is the Scion actually going to hit you? Almost never.
Yeah, that's true. It's a decimating smash that.
So you actually get more sustain out of that one.
So taking it up into the side of the top lane because not too much damage threat. Up 10 CS already in that top lane, and just looking across the board, everything else seems even. Bei Sheng, the jungle's cleaned out just a little bit here, as it's still up in CS, but you wait towards that second clear and see how things stabilize, because right now, only 8, but there's some good timings here. Wolves, Gromp available, where look at the J4. Doesn't have too much that has respawned as of yet.
Good sidestep for missing. Dodges out on the Blade Caller. And taking a look at this compositions, I think W has a very strong team fight setup.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield coming from DMO, taking the exact same comp.
Taking the Kai'Sa Scion is just a big slap in the face against DMO, right?
I would call it creative drafting.
I also like that you bring up like the team fighting potential, and a lot of people go, hang on, Clement, like there's a Kiana here, it's an assassin, but as you've mentioned, as I think you and Rise have mentioned, that the team fighting potential of this assassin is the best yet.
Yes, Kiana actually is very peculiar in that sense. We don't have an AD assassin with a multi-man stun, ever. Like, that just seemed broken. But we do have to say that Kiana as a pick, if she wants to function properly, does need to snowball early, and I think that's what the Olaf is for as well.
True.
So I think W is going to be prioritizing very heavily in these early Drake fights. They have a perfect composition to really get the damage down to tank and everything of that sort. However, DMO will have lane priority throughout the bot lane and the mid lane.
And that's what it really comes down to. What we've talked about in the past, and my suspect to why we haven't seen WE were ahead. This gives them a chance to hold on to that lead. Xie just walking away from Twyla. Bei Sheng once again going back to the enemy's blue buff and taking it too.
A lot of damage there, and I like this move. Once she hits 6 and has the potential for a multi-man stun with the supreme display of talent across that blue buff terrain, instantly just go for the invade.
You like that terrain. Hard. It's your favorite terrain, isn't it?
It's so big. Look at that.
Okay.
The tremor is just going to take days to go around that.
If no one's in it, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but think about the positioning. If you take the blue buff in the brush, like the enemy jungler has to walk in, and you get a guaranteed stun on him.
Sure. We haven't seen it this game as of yet. We saw the display of talent used around that rock just to the left there. I don't know what we're going to call it. Mid-right wall. We've got to have names for walls now. As DMO take the blue buff.
All right, I'll call that the Jake wall.
No, I don't want to be a wall.
Okay.
What names would you give? Oh, hang on. Pause that. Hold that thought. DMO's bottom lane. Look at the 2v3s. Mark and Gala finding the engage. Mystic just gets knocked up. He walks back in. He ults out. Nicely done from Mystic. The crowd goes semi-wild.
Hey, good find on that part. Also has the mid lane going over to help him.
Okay, back to the point. What would you have called? Because like brush wall river, right? I think you just do earth, wind, and fire, right? Oh my god, they're not going to stop. Hello!
I think Shuffling's dead.
Yeah, not sure what's going on. The game's broken! Twilight.
Beishang lives!
He lives! Beishang shouldn't have lived. Bissing will die in the bottom lane. We're back to square one as Mystic almost kills Mark. Now, apologize for what just happened there, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll give you the lowdown. I think WE won.
I could have topped that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Beishang is just low health Olaf, Clement. And once again, we've got an Olaf who looks like he's going to scale out of control.
Yeah, so I want to go back on the fight a little. It feels like Kiana got a two-man stun around the terrain, so that always works out well. And the focus was completely on Beishang, able to heal back through his W.
Because he's 30 CS above, and Xiaopeng comes in for the steal. I'm not sure why you want to be there, sir, but give more resources over to WE, and they're back in the swing of things.
Huh. Okay. Level 5 no flash EQ for Scuttle.
He is 30 CS behind. Why is a great question. As it started with him looking for Beishang.
Oh, and the undertow finds him. Wow. That was insane. A very good prediction on Beishang's part. The stun didn't land here. And in the bottom side, we saw... No, he didn't get it.
Why are we slow-mowing? Oh, okay. He's walking.
Mystic is a handsome man. You want to slow mo.
He is a handsome man. We have many handsome men here in the LPL. Who do you think is the most handsome, Clement? I think it's either Icon. I think Kramer's a handsome dude. Twyla's pretty handsome. I think he's got some cool style.
He's got some baby face going. I think Mark for me.
You think Mark?
The strong jawline is just immaculate.
You know, unreasonable.
And he has a really chiseled nose as well.
Oh, and chiseled nose
very
is so
well
hard
defined.
to come by, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's quite rare. I mean, a lot of people out there, you know, I'm just trying to think in this game, is there anyone else? I still think Twyla probably, definitely up there.
Feels like an R&B singer.
I think the Shy, I gotta admit. You know what makes him more handsome? Is the fact that his gameplay is up there too. Handsome gameplay, handsome man, and his smile. Just...
Bot lane going in. Gala forced to use his ult.
Where?
Just the bot lane. I was looking at the observers kind of missed that trade.
Okay.
But we saw missing. Probably land a hook there.
I was looking at the Rift Herald getting done while talking about chiseled jawlines. It's Rift Herald taken away. And I was talking about before that jungle lead. Xiaopeng needs a miracle ult. He's 2 levels behind it. They didn't show it in the replay, but going back in for the scuttle, that hurt him so much.
It definitely did, and there was no rhyme or reason to do that.
I mean, he's out of the game now for the foreseeable future. Needs, like I said, a miracle ultimate to bring him back into this one.
I don't think you're ever out of the game when you're against WE, so that's good for him.
As we saw in game 1, as Hema Plague used, doesn't hit post.
It does.
It does. He's just so fat. What? Sion is just such a fat model.
Okay.
You just can't see it. Yeah, use the heal.
Time was up. Might as well.
What do you think I'm talking about? I'm not talking about the Sion, Clement. Come on. Well, not there. Where is he? Peekaboo time. Oh, nice ult. Twyla sends him backwards, but Shea does the old dance. Dance for me.
It's really good positioning on Twyla in these trades. He's sticking to the middle of the lane, so you don't get hit by that.
Waiting for that first item there from Shea. Xiaopeng, oh no. Tremor sense on the Jarvan. Doesn't find him. 3-level lead. Xiaopeng, get to farming. Get back to you. There's no camps. He's got blue buff, but that doesn't belong to him.
Yeah, I don't think farming is a viable way to catch up anymore. So I actually...
What do you do? Ganks.
Gank.
Only
just,
gank.
Like, you have to admit, you're just too far behind. 3 levels behind. I've rarely seen this in a competitive game.
Yeah. Beishang owns all jungle. Look at that. His blue buff on the other side of the river's up. Pings down. He's going for lane gank. Or... Yep. It's time to farm. Get him further ahead.
This really hurts because DMO were at least looking for a front line of some sort.
Yeah.
You know, they always like playing with tanks in their compositions. That's one of the defining features of DMO.
I mean, Changhong facilitated that well if he got to the point, which I know Beishang won't let him.
They're not going to have that now with Xiaopeng this far behind. So W actually have a great composition to just run front to back and squash DMO.
I think we're going to get a game where we see the best of Xie's Kiana. Yeah, thanks for the shared goal. Beishang gets some of that as well. Did he need it? Nah. But is he going to get it? Yes. Blue buff will actually be taken by the right jungler on the right side.
Good timing here. They had to use it almost to 14 minutes, so wanted to get that extra turret plating goal.
Okay, that wasn't exciting. I thought it was going to off. But Beishang's here. Throw it. Yeah. He's just alphaing every laner.
He can do this. Like, he's so far.
It's the defensive option, Ninja Tabby, Merc Treads. Beishang is opting for something unique. It's Supreme Display. Oh, it's too late, Twilight. Get the soldiers out of here. They're not even facing the right way. Xie looks swift, and thumbs up from Beishang indicates that that dragon is going to make a double mount.
So well done. He had the double stun queued up, flashes forward for it. The Q lands, and then the alt auto attack.
Level 10 now on the Olaf. Look at Beishang walk through.
This is the problem when you're...
The problem, Clement finished the sentence. Okay, I agree.
Mind,
it is the problem. Look, missing may go down, but Beishang is here. Undertow doesn't land. Changhong comes in now. Might be a problem for the Olaf, but he flashes on after a double Undertow. Looks for the second one, but the Scion just faced first, and Changhong wanted to join, but he's going to regret this. Will find himself up a hill, but not in time. Double kill for Post, and this game looking too good for WE.
WE's not going to let this one slip away. They have such a massive lead this time.
You hope not, Clement. Like, we want to have faith in WE. This is a team we said can recover towards playoffs, sitting 14th at the moment. But
yeah, they did finish the spring split, going 6 straight victories. And even though the initial start didn't look that play, to put themselves even further in the lead.
Now Beishang's starting to influence even more lanes, and that's what you want to see is missing, looking for Mark here, just walking through the topside river. Bottom lane now for DMO, going to move up there as well, but Rift Herald was taken before, so purely just to get them a bit of farm in these lanes. And at the moment, you look at the side of WE, and with the dragons they're accumulating, with the kills, this game has turned from snowball into... What's bigger than a snowball, Clement? Into...
Big snowball? Avalanche?
Into the Death Mountain boulders that roll down, you know? In Ocarina of Time.
I still like my Avalanche one.
Okay.
That one's probably better.
I like... You know what? My favorite characters from Zelda are the Gorons, right? They are the friendliest hippos you've ever met.
Oh, I thought those were the little orc guys.
The orc? What universe are you in? Not an orc.
I didn't play enough of Breath of Wild.
Actually, are they in Breath of Wild? I never got that far in it.
Yeah, I still have 100 shrines to go back to.
100 shrines, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's rough. That's one of the hardest Zelda games, I reckon. I mean,
you
just said you haven't played Ocarina of Time. What do you have to compare it to?
You could just slow time with like your abilities and constantly do that. They have a way to play the game for
wait, who are you talking about?
Mechanically inept players like me.
Oh, okay, right.
But coming back, WE.
Yeah, sure.
Massive
like, are you
lead.
talking about WE here? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about myself.
Yeah. So what do you think about WE? Because right now, they're still winning out on trades. Beishang's level 11.
Well, they're picking whatever trades, whatever they want, and it's up to DMO to then find and scramble to find something on the map to really catch back. So you could just see W with how strong they are. 2 for 1 in the towers in the top side, and they only trade 1 back. It's going to be a long lane here, and with Pose getting those kills, Changhong's not even going to get that much done in this long lane.
When you play a Scion into Changhong and it does very well, it must hurt. Some part of him Must really hurt. As it's going to be Abyssal Mask here first for Post. So I love in this game where we have a bit more stability, where League of Legends being played to a better degree, that we can actually sit back and talk about the items a little bit, because smart itemization, you know, from the likes of Xie here, and from the likes of...
Smart itemization, terrible warding.
Yep. Okay.
Double control ward being plopped down by the bottom lane of WE.
Yep, I thought I'd just ignore that, but that's fair. Mark, no, you've walked too far. Escape! Oh, the Ignite's down, he's dead. Undertow, thank you kindly. Kill number 3. Hey, you remember this blue buff? This is where Beisheng started.
Yep, so it continues to snowball again, and
Again.
I'm really curious about the Abyssal mats being selected here.
So,
Because it increases magic damage being dealt to people,
For the-
but the only one that's
Ice
doing it, yeah, that's the only one that's doing it.
but
is
she
Kai'Sa.
doesn't have, you know, you got the Gwynsu's, but there's no Nash's Tooth yet. Well, it's the long con, the long haul. It's like BLG deciding for the double Elder at minute 1.
Yeah, and Sion himself only does magic damage on the W.
Ah, W max. Wait, doesn't the E do it? Doesn't the Roar of the Slayer do it?
I'm pretty sure that he's main. Oh, maybe AP.
I feel like it does. I know Decimating Smash is only 8.
But I don't think you get the bonus if you're using Roar of the Slayer.
Either way, look, he's so accelerated. He's like, why not? I'll make a pit stop here, then I'll go to the right to score in.
Yeah,
That's what he's
I'm
done.
really curious about the reason why he's built that. Most of the time, I think you see adaptive helm in this case.
Yeah, misclick. Just like, I've got it now.
They are both purple visors.
Yeah.
That is something that
And
I
you know
couldn't
what?
stand in
Maybe
the
he's
game.
listening to the stream. I'm talking about Ocarina of Time. He purchases a Majora's Mask. Like, it coincides so well. So, apologies to Post for this one, but WE not slowing down in this game. That's an ocean. Next one. Cloud. Yeah, given Olaf movement speed. That's great. And in all seriousness, it's scary. Like, I'm not joking around with this one. Baron's up and available. And WE, I mean, they don't have to force this just yet. Might give a window back for DMO into the game, but at this point, WE just is dotting their I's, crossing their T's. In 20 minutes now.
They're playing a very slow and steady game. Looking at the win rates when they secure first Baron, it's actually 71% for Xie.
What about when they get Twyla on the Azir? What is the percentage there? They get knocked up, perfect player talent into the corner, but the ult comes through from Mystic, and that's just nicely done from WE. Another kill.
Mid lane, DMO tried to trade something back. Unfortunately, they
There's an
didn't
Olaf
get
there.
pose.
And that's immediately the no. One Undertow, he's doing that much damage with Black Cleaver picked up. But again, the no is there.
Now, W with full river control. They've done very well of denying this from DMO, so the roam was completely unspotted. And if they get another pick, it's going to be straight onto Baron.
Oh, Nautilus finds his pick. It's Chung Hong. The ultimate popped here by Mark, and he gets quickness onto Missing. That's a good pick off as Chung Hong right in the middle of it. Goes Golden, rather into the Sanguine pool. They flash forward and they destroy him. The lockdown here from the Undertow. Beisheng gets involved, and that's where you stop for DMO.
Yeah, that was pretty dangerous for WE as well. Like, their players were already so far split apart that I actually feel like Gala stayed there for a while longer. They could have got the Mystic kill.
Oh no, but WD back away. DMO thought they did. They get caught out. The Cataclysm not used to its full potential. And now sticking around, two-man knock-up on the Gala and Mark. WE get another pick.
All right, W have to leave, though. W really need to leave.
You can't tell them what to do, Clement. They have an Ocean Dragon. They can do whatever they want. They're going to clear out this wave, and then they're going to leave. So, reset City here for WE. 5k gold up. And the Baron just sitting there looking at them.
Two more kills in their
look.
pocket. Chang Hong just not getting out of the fight enough. Doesn't get the initial pull. Does get it in the second one. And if you watch this fight, look how close it actually is for Mystic in the backline. Really good find on Gala as they walk through the
But
choke.
look at live. Take us out. I want to see what's going on. Xie almost died, but Twyla did. What was he doing up there? Probably pushing the wave, I think.
Yeah, Twyla, the second time he's been caught in this position. And Mystic uses Killer Instinct to fly in. So, was buying time for Chang'o. One saving grace is that Chang'o has been farming up a storm.
Yeah. But the problem is, he can't get picked off like at this game, because at this point of the game, excuse me if I can say words, WE Southern Baron. Teleport coming through. It's Chung Hong finally coming through with the quickness there, and Xie jumps on the back line. That's two-man knock-up into the backside itself as the Vladimir now doing work. Chung Hong has found his mirror, but Beisheng is whacking away. Let's go. The Olaf is hyper accelerated. Xie is a bomb that's just gone off. And Gala on the post wants something. Thumbs up. No. Gala has been pulled in. Post is going to die anyway here eventually. Question mark as Twyla jumps on in as well. But
He gets
Twyla,
stunned.
has he got the ultimate? No. I wouldn't go any further if I were you. WE. They get pulled off Baron. But Post, how is he still alive?
Is he actually going to get out?
The old yakety sax didn't get played. He just walks out.
That's insane. He didn't even have his ultimate
Oh,
for that
Twyla,
one.
no. Please. Okay.
But that was big for DMO. Gala actually found a number of kills in that one.
Yeah.
4-1 and 2, and he's sitting pretty at this point. Like, the front line of W did not actually hold in this fight, and I'm surprised by how close these outcomes are showing up. Great teleport in from Chang Hong, the magic resistance stripped by Baron, and they find an equal fight where they push WE back.
And we're getting later in the game where these fights are looking to tilt more towards DMO. Azir, Vladimir, Zai is there. Remember, it's just the Kaiser and the Zion. Like, the front line has to be mighty for WE for them to win this game. And they're still ahead, don't get me wrong, but DMO feel like they have some windows here.
Here's the quickness.
That's what you want to see, but Mark almost dies going in. Teleport's going to go into the middle of 4 people. They just destroy Azir. I was talking up DMO, but they run to their destiny. The display of talent. Oh my God. Xie sends it round the creek, and that is when you know WE mean business.
Yeah, there was no flash on Mark for that one, so the engage was definitely a little bit delayed.
Chang
Missing
Hong.
instantly reacts.
Oh, Missing almost finds another pick. That's 3 dead while WE hit the Baron, and with 2 members, they can take this. Clement, we talked up the position DMO could be in, but after that play, we're right back to square one.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for the rest of the team. A lot of damage traded back, and Twyla just gets stunned by the Nautilus. Doesn't even get a chance to use his flash, and that fight was pretty much over from there. At least they're glad Gala is still sitting with his 4-1-2.
And double buffs as well. Just leave him in the side lane. He'll do something. He needs that 3rd item, but he won't get off the back of this. Mark thought he had the play, but almost dies just going in.
Yeah, and I don't really understand Twyla right here. The teleport already
Ready?
being channeled for
Look at
a
the
long
ult.
time.
Oh!
Ooh, gets the double and the kill steal.
Yeah.
Well done. That was a good display of talent.
That was cool. Is that your new favorite wall, Clement?
Right, there's bigger walls to
There's
fry.
bigger walls. It's not always about the size, Clement. It's about how you use it.
It's
Okay?
about the terrain.
Hmm.
Yeah, the topography.
Yeah, sure. Well, either way, it looked cool from Xie, and that's what we're waiting to see from the Mobility Boots 2-item assassin who got ahead early in this game and now actually displays the talent of his own. Colonel says we're going to a game 3, and Colonel, you know what? Your chicken tastes good. I'll agree with you based off that.
Getting KFC, bro.
We got our sponsors' food tonight.
Yeah,
so
we got a lot of KFC
hint,
here.
KFC. Willing to talk about you more if you want to, you know, cut us a deal. Some good KFC.
Yeah, they
very
have the
different.
Spider-Verse burgers here now.
Yeah, I'm eating Spider-Man's burger. Didn't even know he had a burger.
And they had a part of the venom in there as well, so it's like mushrooms.
The what? Oh, say it again.
Venom.
Venom. Oh, right.
You know the alien?
Yeah. I know. I was like,
the
venom
dark
in there. I was like,
Spider-Man.
talking about a snake.
Oh,
like,
no.
Is it like a delicacy?
They're
over
like
here?
putting different characters inside their Kentucky Fried Chicken
Oh,
burgers.
so you get to eat your characters, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Something like that.
Well, cool. It's cool promotion actually. I didn't mind it, although
So,
it tasted like
Mid lane's wide open here. I don't think W need to force
Yep.
this.
You help me out, Clement. You bring me back on track. It's DMO trying to defend this bottom lane turret, but you're right. Mid lane opened up by the Sion and with Baron buff. Looks like it's going to be
Okay,
difficult
now's
for
the
DMO.
force.
Yeah, look at Beishang though. Looking for the undertow slowdown of Xie. Looking to go in himself, but turret's going to go down and DMO just with health bars that are not going to support them here.
Slow rotation here.
Beishang. Xiaopeng, Beishang. 3-level advantage is back, Clement. Not bad. Also, it sounds like Azir is shouting Gen G. Don't you reckon?
I think they scream Chinese.
I know, but
Yeah.
like it sounds like Gen G.
Why would they stream Gen G?
Traitorous. Listen to it again when he sends his soldiers forward.
All right, I will.
Okay, we'll just wait. Camera will follow twice.
Don't use the auto attack. Use your soldiers.
He knows. Ready? Look. Wait. Put the soldiers out. No, he's going top.
He knows the true carry on the team is Chang Hong. Get that Flame Horizon.
Okay,
243. Get that. Oh, they're actually supercharging him to get that death cap.
Yeah. They need to put some resources on one person. Of course, Gala hits that 3 items, and that's great, but you need the Vladimir to match that as well. That's the comeback potential that we talked about with DMO, but made even harder by the fact that all these inner turrets have been taken down. The pressure adds up. The only recompense.
Look at the pings.
Ooh, Twyla again. He's got help by the Rakan though, Clement, so
yep.
Not yet.
I like these WE wards. They're actually making the entire team know where they can actually set up these ganks from.
You're right.
So a deep ward in the blue side vision. Now 2 minutes more to Baron. I think WE are going to take this one slow.
Good ward from DMO. It's going to spot out Mystic and missing. What's the beer buff today? 3.5k worth of Harbin. Not bad. I've got a stack of Harbin.
So what actually says there is that buffs don't last forever, but happy times do.
So it's literally saying don't play League, have a beer, or do both at once.
That's an interesting interpretation.
Yeah, I mean happy times. Right. Actually, like I said, I've got a stack of Harbin at my house.
All right, we'll look into that after this series.
Thank you, Clement. Suddenly, Clement Chu became my best friend. That's all right. I was going to say, it's a happy time now that I know WE are playing what I wanted to see from WE, right?
Yeah.
And in all seriousness, this has been a good recovery from them. After what Game 1 was, I never want to visit that again. And if WE can play like this, it puts more faith in you, puts faith that WE can play towards their win condition and shore up some of these games that we had question marks about.
I'm getting very nervous for WE for the next Baron fight.
Yes, I mean, that's the other thing, right, is the fact that WE, like their condition was towards this mid game, and we're getting late where DMO is starting to get resources on the Vladimir, who now has a death cap. But Gala still squishy as all hell, even with his oncoming 4
Yeah, that does count as a single target ability, so you do get the extra damage coming in from your mana. That's why it hurts so much.
Yeah. 4 items now. Banshee's Veil for Mystic. Baron coming up in 3 seconds though, Clement. So if DMO can't get near, or if Gala has to back like that again, then it won't matter.
Okay, here we go. We see the pings going down. The entire team is rotating over. This is the team fight that decides it.
3k. It's gone down too quick though. They can't get near. DMO lose Baron a second time, and WE turn for the fight is missing his face first. Sends the depth charge out, and Chung Hong can't get anywhere near to get onto the back line.
Now, DMO were actually the ones looking for blood, but WE taking it safe and steady. They just back out with the Baron buff.
There's a Cloud to take, Ocean to take up here for WE to reset and get towards the Elder. So even with this gold advantage.
Ooh, look at Kiana.
In a good flanking position. Display of talent is available. The Wombo comes up, double knock up onto post, but he's still not dead. Sends out one of his own as Chung Hong is turned on by Mystic, who wants to take the 1v1 and destroys him. While Kiana does die, but DMO, they lose one of their own. The Vladimir goes down, and WE are looking for that front to back 4 versus 4.
Yeah, that was very perplexing from WE because their jungler was no way that he could make it in time. Beishang was taking down the Drake very far away from the flank. And Kiana goes in, instantly gets popped off screen. We don't even get to see it happen. So this is quite bad for WE. They get one of their Baron buffs burned away in what essentially is a 5v4.
God, but they couldn't kill Pope. I mean, that's the only way WE come out that with an even trade.
Yeah, and the positioning was really good there by DMO. But wait a minute.
Beishang is an absolute unit, so never mind. GA Olaf now runs into Twyla. Here comes Asion. Chew, bloody chew!
And the game's over, just like that.
Suddenly, because the Olaf was so far ahead, Post runs into Mark. We come out of a replay into real life, and when you come out of virtual reality, everything looks absolutely bad.
Chang's the only one holding down the fort right now. He has his death cap. A lot of damage here. They need to be very careful on this one.
And for WE, looking for the re-engage, as simple as that, as Beishang just goes back to hitting turrets now. Onto Chung Hong as the depth charge is there. Finally, is it ever going to hit? Post tanks up all the turret, and for WE, I don't think they can end the game, but Mystic just turns, ults him immediately, flashes onto Mark, hits him again, and Mystic just sits on top of DMO, says, how's that for game 3?
Mystic says, enough of this funny business. Wants the fans to know that he means business. And
business. Hey, there's Opal. Hey, all right. Opal just chilling for WE. He's like, okay, we'll get there. And I think he'd be okay with that one because WE, it was a long haul, but I got there in the end.
Oh, they finally managed to close this one down. I don't think my heart could take it if we saw another upset into a 2-0 onto DMO.
Yeah.
These games, these mid-games and fight selections have been coming down to the wire between these two teams. However, the laning phase has been consistently WE's. It seems like taking away from Changhong was a successful strategy, even though Changhong did have a massive CS lead, wasn't able to make up for the deficits that happened in the other lanes.
Yeah. Clement, this has been a series, hasn't it? This has been a series. At least game 2 was structured. You know, at least game two I think was great from WE. Yeah?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. They played the game how it should.
Yeah, like we finally got to see the best of WE, and although like it's been a long night, I'm glad we go to a game 3 where I'm hoping to see the best of DMO. Their win condition was structured, and like Chung Hong, Gala were hitting their mark. No pun intended. They were hitting that point in the game, but people like Mystic was so big, like the jungle Beishang was so big, and Mystic's MVP, but that's wrong. It should be Beishang all the way. I reject this. I don't care. It was a Kai'Sa. Beishang is the reason that Mystic got to spread his wings.
The finishing touches always linger on the memory. That's why they went for Mystic here,
like,
but I agree with you. Beishang with a 3-level advantage earlier on,
Actually
level 9
robbed.
to level 6.
Beishang was robbed. He played such a good jungle game. He played it so darn well. Triple buff. He triple buffed twice in that game, and he kept Xiaopeng from ever entering.
Yeah, it was very far ahead in his own lane, but you know, I think Mystic and Kiana, the Shia, deserve a lot of praise for keeping their lanes that far ahead as well.
That's also true.
They got those the first steps going, and to be honest, I feel like Xiaopeng made a lot of kind of odd mistakes that gave that lead over towards Beishang. Now, what Beishang did really, really well, and why I think the game collapsed so fast, is that Twilight didn't get any blue buffs. It's like, what's a blue buff?
Yeah.
First 2 rotations taken away. Really good terrain threat with the Kiana, and how strong the Olaf was, just going into their jungle and always keeping that keeping Twilight mana starved and unable to push his lane out.
Yeah, that's true. End of the day, still win for WE. We're going to game 3, short break, then we're going to close this one out. That is a lovely shot of Xi'an. And let me tell you one thing, the city is as gorgeous as they say it is, so go and pay a visit. We saw Opal just before. He's there. Clement, hysterics. Let's look. Clement, tell me, as we finish off this series, what do you see that I see?
Wait a minute. What is that first champion? Oh, that's
the
Yumi. Oh, I need my glasses. I'm sorry. They have the better matchup in the top with the Aatrox versus the Scion. But I think the theory behind it is still very similar. Protect the bot, but have a better top side that doesn't collapse. And on the other hand, WE are still going for very strong power in the bottom side. Very much like game one with the Lucian pick. And even though the Kiana is now wasn't banned, even though the Kiana's not here, they still have a kill lane in the mid lane with Aurelia and Sylas.
Remember, there's not many teams in the LPL willing to play the Kalista, so good to see it on someone like Mystic, who we praise all the time. Let's head into game, because this one should be explosive more so. Actually, they're all been explosive.
Yes.
This one should blow up as well.
This one, WE is looking much more at the bottom side, while DMO, I think they're more focused on the top side. They saw the last game that Changhong had a massive CS lead. They're against Post, so they're trying to replicate and change their strategy toward him.
We'll see how we go. Let's go into the final game of the night. WE. This needs to be a win if we consider you in playoffs. Otherwise, DMO will put themselves back into contention. Another game 3, Clement. Welcome back. LGD, get out of here. LGD actually performing technically better than these two teams at the moment. Well, that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Nice trade.
Very interesting. I thought Pose was supposed to be blind here, but Changhong, with the anticipation, actually gets a ward killed early and is going to harass Beishang, at least force Xia to help.
It's a fight. Like, Xia's come up as well. Changhong.
Don't go back, Changhong.
He will. You know he will. Oh. Oh, God.
Is he a mind reader? Wow.
He's just winging it. Ready? Is he going to go back? No, he's left out. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but this is very good warding from DMO's side. They have both wards on the Krug camp and the Raptor, so they're going to see where Sylas' pathing is. And that's going to give Rek'Sai a chance to actually steal away the blue buff if Sylas is going towards his Krugs.
Let's find out, because that ward will be jumped over in just a second. Pings are down. Pings towards Raptors to find out where he is. But yep, Beishang gets it and now spotted out. So opportunity now for the Rek'Sai, who's taking Conqueror here. So Xiaopeng, early trade's not going to be as effective as we've seen with the Halo Blades Rek'Sai, but still should be able to find something here if all goes right.
And that has to be a sad Xur side. They were definitely hoping that Changhong would, Beishang would go towards the top side.
Yep.
Not going to be available for a steal here, but Xiaopeng is still keeping his blue buff off. Now, we've seen this from Xiaopeng multiple times, where when he's playing the Rek'Sai, he actually gives his initial blue buff to his mid laner to increase the pushing potential.
Yeah? God, that's a very ballsy move, Clement. Xiaopeng now towards the bottom side.
It's one where Knight constantly mentioned when I was interviewing him. It's like, what do you like about Xiaopeng? Why do you always deal with him? It's like, he gives me the first blue.
Well, it's still sitting there available when he comes back. But Xiaopeng, Tremor Sense coming in handy here is 900, 800. He's going to have to make a guess. He's over the wall just in time. Flash from Beishang. The follow-up from Xiaopeng wants the final tick and gets it. Missing pops him back, though. You God, Cal. Oh, that was nice from Missing.
Even flashes
fabulous.
the emote.
That was gorgeous.
It definitely was. Good save on their part. However, it won't stop. Actually, takes Beishang over to 3. Huh. How did Beishang get 3? He was level 2 when he was taking that blue.
Maybe when he died? Let's find out.
Okay, just checking it. I believe Xiaopeng actually got the buff here. No, they disregarded the buff.
Didn't even get it.
Yeah, went straight in for Beishang. So he died level 2.
So he obviously got the experience when
Yep.
Xiaopeng died and he was already dead.
That
Level
actually
up.
equalizes it. Interesting.
Yeah. That's a fun fact for
Ah,
everyone
yeah,
out
I
there.
remember. You do get the XP now after death. It was a
Okay.
mechanic added.
How long ago? Something that people just look over is
Yeah,
Xiaopeng.
I think it was a fair
no.
one.
No, don't go in, Beishang. Twyla's here, but teleport there as well. I forget that it's a Lulu, and that's an Aurelia coming at us.
Used from Xie. Now I want to see if the first buff transfer actually happened. Rek'Sai really has no need for it.
Still sitting there waiting. Beishang moving to the mid lane, but spotted out by a ward. Xiaopeng as well. Going to clear this one. Beishang walking into lane, going to be slowed down. And that's pretty much it. So story around the mid lane is here in this third game.
Look at the top side. That's a lot of damage
where
being
did
dealt by
the
Chang Hong.
post, I think, forced out or just backed away?
Yeah. And a lot of this is because DMO had full vision on where the jungler was, and Xiaopeng is back to his aggressive ways.
Here we go, Clement. Xiaopeng still in the river. Beishang willing to take the trade. And at this point with Xie just in a very good position, means that Xiaopeng loses a lot of that freedom. The blue buff, as you're talking about, now going to be taken here by Xiaopeng. And where's the Lulu? Surely you head towards it. Yeah, go get your...
Yeah, there you go.
Go get your 5-minute buff.
Even though Xiaopeng is pretty under-leveled, still gives it over.
Hits the rest of his jungle. Beishang level 4 now. The jungle has a big lead here. So while top is 15 CS down, at least mid Aurelia, Silas, and I was going to say Mystic, but the Kalista not doing that well in this lane. It's amazing how Yuumi can actually turn a trade.
This is a lane that's more built for all-in trades. So if you have the jungler here, then the kill threat is super high. But without it, it's much harder to do. And you also have to remember, Missing did leave lane to collect his red buff.
Yeah, and collect his kill. So I take that. He's got mobility boots now. So you speak of all-in and Gala Mark. Oh, Beishang gets hit. Hex flash away. That'll get him. Changhong now towards the top side. I'm glad we've got a bit more calm during this game, but no, post, please don't change my mind. He's hit level 6, so he should be able to get away if he wants. Decimating smash. Smite.
Thanks for the minion assist.
So much for the leash. Post behind. Just wants anything he can get. Right now, spotting out the jungle is a good news story. It means that Beishang should have a bit more freedom, understand what he can play around with at this point in the game.
I love the amount of pressure that DMO are putting onto Beishang in this match. Like, they've always had aggressive wards from level 1 onwards, and it's allowed Changhong to amass a very strong CS lead in the top side.
Yeah, it's that deep control ward that's paying off dividends here for DMO. Beishang wants to get in the mid lane, constantly here with the Aurelia already smashing. And if Twyla dies, then I think Xie just gets ahead 30 or so CS.
Yeah.
Just destroys this lane even further.
The problem with Lulu in lane is, even though you have push priority a lot of the times, you can't really venture and follow the other team's mid laner. And we see situations like this, where
Just
you see
outgunned.
WE just, with the kill threat, are able to leave lane and threaten.
Yeah. Xiaopeng, Twyla trying to follow this up, but WE already out. Missing is quite low here, but won't mean too much. DMO have to disengage and leave it, and Xiaopeng is slowly getting choked out once again here by Beishang.
3 camps behind.
Yeah.
Oof.
And he keeps losing Scuttle. I think this is the
Yes.
second or third that Beishang has taken.
W has done a very good job of moving their members first towards that Scuttle in the top side as
no,
well.
he has 6. He's 2 levels ahead of Xiaopeng. Beishang with ult now. Heads to whatever lane he wants, but that's an ult that went the other way.
Yeah, unfortunate for Xie. He's actually been missing a lot of these in recent days.
Just went the wrong way. I was like, is he trying to outplay that? But no. Changhong will get a red buff. So at the end of the day, despite the level difference, experience difference, the top lane is making up for it for DMO.
And look at the CS lead that Xie has as well. 15 CS.
Winning lane. So if you miss another one, that's when we'll start talking.
All the hope of DMO are right now on Changhong's shoulders.
Yes.
And I think he's a good person to bet on. 30 CS up. No jungle interference.
But let's talk experience for Changhong. Let's talk about in the past when we bet on a player like him. Has it paid off?
Well, we haven't really seen him play in the 4-1 style in the LPL. Now, back when he was known as Goliath and playing in the LDL, he actually had a killer Camille.
Is such a good name, by the way.
Yes, I prefer Goliath.
Goliath is the biggest alpha name. Like, that is like saying you're Jesus. You know? And that's relevant from the same universe. It's like Marvel, like the Bible's like
I
Marvel.
like how you talk about the Bible as a different universe. But never mind. Let's see if Twilight can survive
Twyla's
this.
being caught out. Wild Growth and the Flash Burn here. Now looking for the turners.
He's getting the trade back.
Yeah, the rest of DMO are coming. Chung Hong.
Xiaopeng does have level 6. But doesn't find anything.
Ooh, a bit of the old glitter lance on your way out. Twyla, please and thank you. So good turnaround from DMO, but they weren't able to burn the Flash. In the end of the day, it's the Lulu who goes down. Ooh, who got it? I don't know, but Missing's here. Big Cow
No
goes
level
move.
6.
Cat onto Cow. Fate's call as she has to flash out. The flawless duet doesn't connect, and you know he's dead, folks. DMO pick up the second kill of the game.
Why did Missing go in? That was such an easy comeback engage from DMO. They had the final chapter, extra ultimate in that one, and WE clearly didn't want to take it.
He was a hero, that's why. Fate's call used by Mystic, though, so in the end of the day, a heavy trade against WE. Flash burnt by Xie, so both mid laners now burning their core summoner. And DMO have a gold lead for the first time in this game.
I gotta say, for this series, it just feels like team fight selection is the name of the game. It doesn't even matter how well or how unwell the laning phases have gone. It has always been about which side engages and actually has the better judgment on when to continue the fight.
Yeah.
This is something W has been sorely lacking in the recent matches. I've seen them take so many just kind of bizarre fights where half the team doesn't want to go in. It looks like they have latency on their communication.
Yeah, they got lag, Club.
Yeah, they're coming in from the Atlantic or something. It's just it's kind of weird to watch. And at least you can see W here, a really good threat on Fei Xiang's part. You know, seeing him slink towards the bottom side of the map is enough to scare Gala and Mark away.
Yeah, but lead to the mid to change things up.
You definitely think it will be going towards the top side. Especially after this dragon. He knows that no one is up here to contest.
He's 30 CS and then some. That's how far he is over post. Rift Herald, Decimating Smash can't stop this one. Here we go. Post, he just gets whacked to the side as well. DMO don't need to dive this. They're going to just keep hitting the turret. They ignore him completely. Post does nothing against it. There you go. Keep hitting the turret.
They want that last turret plating. They're willing to greed for it.
Not even greed. Post is just like... What's a good example? Post is that mosquito in the middle of your room at night, right? You're like, well, I could get up and turn my lights on. Or I could just let this thing fly around and hopefully just die somewhere else. And that's what Post is right now. He's a mosquito that we can't be bothered dealing with. So
W actually come out ahead of that one.
Yeah, they actually did all right.
They did first
thumbs
tower.
up. Yeah. Take that, Chung Hong.
Pose knows it as well. He's like, I survived your 2v1.
And it went onto the Callista bot. So I would prefer the Aatrox, yes, but when you have the Aurelia, Callista, the Silas, who technically was ahead, feeling good, then you take that. You take the rest of the map. So not too bad. Let's see what she picks up with it, because I see a Vampiric Scepter, and that's disappointing. I want more. I think Blade of the Ruined King. Are we close? Let me think. Let me just quick.
It's still interesting to see that the Zerker Greaves are actually the first selection over completing the items.
So you're going to be doing a lot more tap dancing here,
Yeah.
Callista. So Clement, tell me one thing. When we get to that point where the game's no longer calm, when we see there's early skirmishes, do you still favor WE?
In this composition, I think like it always depends on the type of fight you're getting. If DMO actually...
But hang on.
Actually, it's fine. It's
Zero
fine.
damage
It's fine.
with the Ninja Tabby.
So DMO actually have the better chasing composition in this one, and I actually favor W's for front to back team fights. So
Okay.
if DMO can find someone with the Yuumi and follow up with the Aatrox, that's the perfect team fight condition that they want to have. While WE, their big question is how do they actually move Pose out of a lane that's being constantly shoved in and play the front to back? That's the big thing that they need to ask of themselves.
Yeah. A lane that, on that note, that is a Black Cleaver and a Caulfield's Warhammer. That is 50 CS up on the Scion. Now, I was talking up the lead before, Blade of the Ruined King on Mystic, who's the person specifically I was talking of, but I don't think that's enough. 560 gold on the Aatrox. This is going to be rough. Like, Chung Hong is level 11. And you'd be scared if you're Mystic and Xie. You need a lot of crowd control just on this one champion.
For sure. And DMO actually do have the better scaling with the Kaisa in this composition as well. So I really want to see W try to hard force on these objectives. And unfortunately, it's going to be an Ocean. So DMO is not really going to contest, but we can see WE are understand that they are the team that needs to play the tempo. We have seen a catch in the top lane.
Oh, Clement, good call, because tempo's there. Fate's core missing is searching for some beef.
You gotta love the way Gala's playing it. Very safe in the top side.
We're gonna get that 1v2 moment as Chung Hong now into the world ender looking to escape. He flashes away instead of turning. Doesn't want to deal with the Brawler's Vest that's already picked up by Post.
And top lane is wide open. So DMO, they successfully thwart 2 attempts at their lives. They'll get repaid for it.
Xiaopeng searching for some blood himself. You're right. Gala to pick up the turret. Mystic and missing. A little bit late to the party here. And I tell you what, this is kind of refreshing for me, Clement. I mean, even this I don't think is the pace of the LCK, right? Our first series, the BLG and JDG series, I think fits very well into the LCK style. But this one more so, like you're waiting for it to implode or explode depending on how we go. And you're waiting for that one moment where WE, as you mentioned before, play with the tempo and look for that skirmish that can break the game wide open.
Yeah, the problem here is that DMO has been very reserved in venturing in their lanes.
A lot of wave clear to deny them.
Yes, and they're not pushing that hard in the bottom side either. They're not playing for chip damage. So Channel's been relatively safe. The top lane is not ventured up out of under their tower, and they have great vision control over here. And I don't think DMO is even going to try and contest this this Drake.
If they do, they're going to be walking into a trap set by missing. Look at this flanking position now.
Pose.
Popped out. Xiaopeng over the wall. He flashed the cataclysms on top. Xiaopeng has to flash. No, he just gets out.
No, he gets out. He gets out.
But I tell you what, missing, that was nice.
I was surprised they got out with only one ultimate.
Yeah.
That was a smart move. And also a reason why DMO should contest that.
Yeah. So, Ocean Dragon picked up, Infernal coming up next, and I don't care if Missing uses flash for that. That was just fun.
Yeah, W really need kills at this point. I don't think the ultimate is enough of a lead. And the way they're going to do it is just set up in DMO's jungle. I love when teams do jungle invades.
Yep, me too.
Nice tight corridor, so no way she is going to miss his ultimate.
Need to break open the mid lane turret as well here for WE. It feels like that'll
Not
be the
gonna happen.
path. No, that's why I said they need to, but I want to see it, you know? But you're right, it is just so hard to get through this, and the fact that DMO, very mobile composition.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai, Lulu, when you have zoomies on top of you as well, the chase is just insane, and the slow that comes with it, possible to get out of.
DMO is perfectly happy to just sit this one out.
Sit it out.
Not like sit tight.
I know what you
sit
mean.
tight.
No, but you're right, they'll sit it out for the next 10, 15 minutes.
Probably won't be 10, but for the
Got
next
a
5.
game of TFT, you know, running in the background.
Oh, that'd be nice, but that takes a lot of time as well.
Yeah, but they probably started it from minute 1, so they're still going. You know what? I was asking the other day, when are we going to get the 1v1s? Like, and how would 1v1s work?
You mean TFT 1v1?
Yeah.
What's the fun playing 1v1? Oh, now, a very interesting thing about the auto chess genre is that it has a lot to do with Mahjong. Very similar mechanics to Mahjong. And you expect that of a Chinese
I heard
developer.
you talking earlier about this, and I agree. Like, for someone who has recently learned Mahjong and come into China, and I actually, let me tell you, I enjoy the hell out of that game.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mahjong where
It's
you're taking
true.
away core pieces from the enemy team and then transitioning them
It's
into
strategic.
pairs.
It's a good game. Hey, he might be caught in the corner. Beishang actually coming in, so how long could Chair
It's going
last?
to be a 3v3 under tower. DMO has to run.
Oh, he finds the stun onto Chung Hong. Post comes in, nails him into the corner. That was a nice flawless duet, and even better teleport from Post.
Yeah, good cut there coming in from Pose. I like the idea from DMO. There's no one really up there in top lane, and they just overload the bot side. But they pulled the trigger a little bit too slow, and W had very good vision set up on their own side of the jungle.
So now they move to the mid lane. Now, Clement, what did I say about this mid lane turret?
They need to take it.
But what did you say?
impossible.
Yeah. So what are we left with?
WE just don't have a great sieging composition. They have almost no range on the comp.
Yeah.
The only way they really hope for is to get like a good dragon fight, and the next one will be Infernal. That's always a blessing when you're running this Kalista. Lowest DPM champion in terms of the markman position later on in the game, but early on, great at objectives, really easy to snowball with.
I mean, at the moment, we should be talking about Mystic, but I feel inclined to talk about Xie. This
She's
game,
been dominating Twyla.
yeah, really just sending him back. That's a 40 CS lead. Okay. That was on purpose, folks, I assure you. But the mid lane matchup, you're right. It's been a dominant affair by Xie, and it shows why the strength of this Aurelia cannot be understated in the LPL.
It's one of the most worrying parts about DMO is if you think about all 3 games, you actually had the champion selection on Twyla's part. So he's getting the counter picks, but still not being able to do anything in lane with them.
I mean, what did we see last game? The Azir, right? The Azir into
Kiana.
Xie into Kia.
Yeah. That one actually went okay.
I mean, I feel like the Azir is a good pick into that, right?
And most champions that have enough range do deal well with Kiana.
She has gap close, but that's 6.
She has a hard time picking up waves.
Yeah.
Low range on that.
I haven't seen the Kiana ult into Azir shield. I'm not sure. Does that count as terrain?
Once the Azir shield is set, it does count as just a terrain. Just
We didn't actually get to see the interaction of it used. I know it works
But not
around Talia
midair.
wall. Talia wall's a fun interaction because if you see a Talia go and Kiana presses it, it goes.
Yeah,
like
they showed it in the champion spotlight as well.
It's cool, hey.
Yeah.
I know we'll get to see that again with all our Talia's meters. DMO setting themselves up towards his bottom side now. Infernal's contested, but that's a blind Scion into ult. Oh, that was nicely done. Twyla's ult gets stolen by Bei Xiong, and WE do it once again.
And W checked all the boxes. They got Pose into the fight. He stood still, so Rek'Sai couldn't find him, and they take it down.
Cal's there. Chung Hong knocked on up. Simply just to get this turret. Clement, I'll say it again. What did I say? Well, it's going to go further than just the mid lane turret as Twyla gets the engage on Wild Growth stolen and used onto Xie, who's ignited but doesn't die. Good Wild Growth there by Bei Xiong. Saves his mid laner.
Another double hit
but
on
Chung
the
Hong,
Q.
and now out of ulti, so it was a good knock-up, but will it follow through? Chung Hong now repositions, but WE are out of it. The Infernal should be secured off this big pick.
Yeah, I wonder if DMO actually venture forward. They actually have very healthy HP bars here. Pose is waiting in a perfect position to catch people off guard.
Oh, but look at missing again. This Cal.
She is
right
back.
there. Gala, run! Oh no, the flawless duet on top of the Wild Growth might save his life. The turn could come through and missing. Flashes over the wall, but Bei Xiong follows up as well. Mark is squishy as can be. The cat can't jump back on. And the ult stolen through here by Bei Xiong. Caught it into the wall. Chung Hong is the last hope, but WE flush on that as well. And Xiao Peng has to watch from the rear as WE do it again.
Yeah, and that was a great teleport coming in from Xie. DMO thought they had a chance with multiple members low, but it wasn't the case. Great flank by Missing as well. And they focused very well. They took down the only damage dealer on Gala. Gala actually burned his flash quite perplexingly underneath the second tower when he saw Missing. So they all knew that mistake was there, and they punished it to the full extent.
I mean, this is just for WE. A moment of rejuvenation. Good picks, good fights, and good positioning is what you want to see out of this squad. And playing towards that condition, I think tonight's theme has been playing towards your win condition, knowing when it is, and WE pick the time perfectly and get the Baron off the back of it.
DMO just aren't careful enough around that objective. They knew it was W's win condition, but still walked in a lot of times blindly into these brushes. And Missing was the one that forced out Gala's flash earlier. He definitely knows that one is there.
Yeah.
Xie comes over the wall. They instantly take him down, and they even put some insult to injury with the stolen final chapter on that corridor. Great position for it. Chang Hong can't do much. Actually knocked out of the stun.
Just for good measure, Clement.
Yep. Whew, still falls down.
Bei Xiong just healed up all of his health. That's the power of Kingslayer. So, another good game for Bei Xiong, who is still ahead of the opposing jungler, who is 3-1-3. Beer buff comes in again. Remind me, Clement, what does it say?
Getting the strong... This one's actually different.
Oh, is
so,
it?
yeah, you got the strongest buff. and hope it lasts forever with happy beer.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so good.
I love these slogans.
I'm just so glad the Harbin sponsor. There's been some pretty good moments in this game. You know, speaking of happy times, there's been some good moments for WE. I'm glad we got to this point where we can see, you know, the best out of their gameplay. That, although it's been very back and forth and it's been messy, not as messy as game one. Good recovery, and that's all I cared about here in this series. WE with the Baron buff showing us more of the clean play and more of this opposing force that they're now bringing to the bottom lane.
Sitting on a very sizable lead at this point, so the scaling advantage from DMO not going to be a factor in this one. And with the Baron buff, no more split pushing from Changhong. It's purely going to be a wave clear game for DMO at this point.
Leaving the Sion in the mid game, WE head towards his bottom side finally, and Changhong looking to clear, but Mystic just dancing around. Tapper, tapper, tapper. And Zumi's going to try and heal him up, but half health with one push. Baron has a minute 30 remaining.
Changhong with Yuumi is a dangerous prospect
That is
going
true.
into that seed.
Hey, he's almost level 16 as well, so the World Ender then, with the Death's Dance, Black
Extra
Cleaver,
AD.
he doesn't die. Especially not if he gets a kill off the back. We're not quite to new Aatrox just yet, Clement. Turret will eventually go down. Inhibitor turret next.
So
WE.
DMO actually have a good chance to get the engage on here.
I was going to say, yeah, WE need to be careful.
Yeah, I'm glad that WE backed out of that one. To remember, DMO still has very strong engage options. This is not like the previous game. Final chapter onto either Rek'Sai or Aatrox are going to work wonders against the enemy team.
And they know how to play this composition, right? Like, constantly we say, you know, it's the sword and shield, Sion, Kai'Sa. Well, the Aatrox still adds that, but it's like dual-wielding the swords, you know? If anyone's ever watched, you know, it's, what is it called? Sword Art Online. You know, no one else can dual-wield, but DMO can. You know, they found the loophole, right? And they're dual-wielding. What is that, a special ability? What's going on? Well, a DMO are dual-wielding this game. And Changhong almost level 16. That's an upgraded sword, if I've ever seen one, alongside Gala.
Yeah, they're barbarians of Diablo too.
Yeah, okay. That's probably more modern.
Oh, this just
Less
reveals my
weedy.
age.
Yeah. Does it? How old's Diablo 2?
He was playing it in elementary school.
Yeah?
Oh.
I mean, I talk about Maple Story a lot, and I don't know if that reveals my age. Changhong might actually be caught out. He goes
back in.
World Ender. There's the catwalk again. Onto the back line is Mystic, but Mystic already
Great
finds
position.
the Aatrox. You see the Kai'Sa there with a double kill already, and Gala trying to carry this with Zoomies and the shield. Here we go. The sword and shield, but destroyed eventually. It's too far forward for WE. They're ahead. And Mark running for his life. Big Death Time is now looking to storm the base.
Even with Mystic falling down early, they have enough backup damage, and Xia coming over on the backside.
Angry cat for Mark. He dies as well, Clement. And I think this is just going to be it.
Yeah, that's finally going to be the series. DMO, even with changing their compositions multiple times, still could not escape the same fate that they had in laning phases. Just such a great deficit in the mid lane. Xia really anchoring this series.
But I can see your optimism. The reason why, because Gala, but hang on. Death time is not long enough at this point, so
here's
the
the
road
teleport.
goes on. The teleport, the Nara remote from Pose.
They're going to make him
Thumbs
pay
up.
for that emote. Oh, maybe not.
Still level 15, but the Force Duet lands. They steal themselves a World Ender, and WE just walking out. Changhong wants to pull him back in, but he can't.
Changhong mad. Changhong no get engaged.
So mad.
though.
What does that beer buff say, Clement? It says WE should fight again.
No.
Missing. Two-man knockup. Yes. Yes, they should, Clement. They should end it right there. They turn on. They silence the two big members of DMO, and now they could look to end the game.
Finally come to this point. DMO really angry on that one. Want to prevent the second Infernal Dragon, but they had no vision there whatsoever. That was just... feels like a bit of a tilt coming in from those players.
Either way, game's going to end here with the 80 carry knocked on once again. Gala trying to make the impossible possible with Mark at his wing, but Gala's going to get launched on once again. There's no wild growth to help him this time. Or rather, it was used, but to no effect, as the person using it dies too. Ace for WE, and this series has been so back and forth, but at the end of the day, WE get their much-deserved win. Look to keep that climb going towards playoffs and set themselves up with a nice finish here. 2-1 DMO.
Yeah, a strong streak starting for WE. They took down JD Gaming in the past week, and now finally rolling on to another victory. It's been a while for WE to actually show up in the win column, but they're doing it against DMO. There's a lot of things that I think they need to review in this series, but overall, I think we can make the definitive statement that they are the better laners. Their bottom lane, they got ahead. Their mid lane, Shia, was consistently ahead, even though he was countered multiple times. And we're seeing Missing with the new haircut.
Yeah, it's gone. Absolutely gone. Way played the Alistar. It was a bold move. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm actually sorry. It's been a long broadcast. I don't make puns. I'm not that kind of person, but tonight just felt right. It felt right for WE as well. I'll bring us back on track. It's okay. I think WE, in the end of the day, that game 3 was a relatively clean showing.
Yeah, I think in this series they actually showed a different type of their combo. A lot of early aggression, and I like the Callista pick. I think it's something that's been sorely missing in the meta.
Love it.
Sure is. This game really started to crack open once that Drake fight happened.
Yeah.
Everything before that was okay for DMO. They actually had a huge side lane split pushing advantage. 50 CS on Changho. Just Rek'Sai, DM, and Xiaopeng should not have walked into the river the way they did. And afterwards, checking back, gave a lot of kills over to WE.
Because you can see how DMO came back into that game. If there was that comeback, it was off the back of Gala with the shielding, the wild growth from Twyla, Mark healing him up. I mean, that is like the Kog'Maw comp, right? The Kog'Maw that 1v5s that can't die of old, of 2017. That, I mean, WE used to run.
Yeah.
Back with Mystic.
DMO need to be able to give up on objectives when they're too far behind. I think that's a crucial mistake that they've made multiple times in this game. The game was steady. WE had a hard time cracking down their mid lane. What they should have done was just hold on, play the forehand like you're supposed to, have Changho do the side lane split pushing, and just be fine with the objectives going
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're like, well, this is our potential. This is what we can play to. And for DMO, I think we need to break down the series as a whole, because that was a road of development for DMO, and I think we're starting to see more of the problems of the LDL champions, where they had one great split, but everyone's caught up, everyone's got a good read on what they want to do, and how sometimes they can be one-dimensional in their compositions.
There's a couple things that I think they need to learn from. Talking to Xiaopeng face-to-face, he said the main way they just won the LDL so convincingly was that they were better players. A lot of times they just brute force things, but that's a habit that they have to change in the LPL.
Because they're not the better players here anymore. The LPL is 16 teams. We have multiple players. Do 16 times 5, then some.
So I feel like a lot of times they need to have a concept of resetting. They need to have a concept of, okay, this is beat. We're just not venturing into that. After they think about that sequence in the mid lane, they lost Rek'Sai. They were chased underneath their own towers, and then they went back. It was like, got no vision, but we got a chance. And then Shia just teleports in and just kills everyone. They take mid laner and they take Baron off of that. That was the big fall that they had to do. Just imagine if they didn't go there. They just said, okay, take it, and Changho will keep on pushing.
Everything's different, right? However, in that game, we got to look at the positives, and that is the fact that Mystic will pick up MVP after that game. So, Mystic, interesting. Sorry, Missing. Hey, I was ready to go on a spiel again.
I was like, what did he do that game?
Give it to. I was like, there was a Callista there. Thank you so much. So Missing, will be MVP, and that one was well deserved. The final headbutt pulverized to win the game.
Agent Alistar, hiding in the same brush actually. The one behind Red Buff, really the one you want to control with the Drake. 88.2% of the kill participation. New haircut. And new fortunes.
Yeah, new day, new me. So congratulations to Missing. I would have been happy giving that game as well. Beishang again, probably not. To Xie maybe, but I think Missing at the end of the day, sure. Beishang had a better game 2 and 3. Missing as well. I mean, like, you can go through and you can break that down. However, there's no need, because I think at the end of the day, WE take that and they have a long road to recover if they're going to get to summer playoffs.
Oh, for sure. I think WE need to look at this series and go like, well, we had such a lead in our, they had a sizable lead in the mid lane, 40 CS above that one, and a level advantage in their jungler once more. But they really weren't able to convert that into anything for the early game. That's the problem I have with WE currently, is that even though they're going for early strong picks, a lot of the times they don't move beyond that. They actually have that stalemate where it's just like, well, we have CS lead. Yay! And the game doesn't really progress. So we've seen DMO be able to drag the game out actually for a long time in both Game 2 and Game 3, and that's something they need to fix with their with just their
sitting 15. I mean, they got to fix a lot. Clement, we'll have a look at standings, see where they sit in WE. Picking up the win was crucial. They'll rise a little bit here, but like we said, a long way to go from here.
Yeah, looking at WE, still sitting at the 11th place, so not quite 14th, moving up the ladder, but playoffs is still a little bit out of reach for them right now. They've already played 9 series. The magic number is 10.
Yep.
So even if they win all of their remaining matches, that would still put that on. I'm terrible at that. Put on 9 wins.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to rely on other people.
And that means we're getting to the point where teams like Dominus Esports, Vici, it's getting near impossible for them to qualify. Like for Dominus now, every series needs to be a win. Rogue Warriors, I mean, they've got many games